Hi, I'm Rebecca Johnson, the psychologist with Shankara Eye Hospital, Bangalore. And on World Down Syndrome Day, as a psychologist, I wanted to share with you not just about what Down syndrome is, but also about the psychosocial aspects related to Down syndrome, especially when the child is diagnosed, and also with the parents. So here, I understand as parents, raising a child with Down syndrome can be challenging. Parenting in itself can be challenging, and it is not uncommon to feel the fear and the anxiety. And also, whether you're doing the right thing or whether you're taking the right decision for your child. So all these thoughts are very natural for a parent to feel with regard to their child. And considering the child is diagnosed with Down syndrome, it adds on a lot more for the parents to make sure that they are able to provide for the child. So every child is unique, but there are particular strategies that can be customized, or based on how you as a parent feel this particular strategy or this particular way of working would help your child. So when we look at children with Down syndrome, one of the common challenges that they face are related to their behavior. So when we look at their behavior, they would have trouble probably communicating. They would have trouble with controlling their impulse. They would have trouble with relating to other children and adults. And they also would have trouble managing their frustration. So how do you work around children so that they also understand that, okay, this is how I need to do this, or this is how I need to be with other children or other person, right? So all that can be overwhelming to them because they probably like to function in a particular manner because they like the routine, and something that disrupts the routine would be irritating to them or can cause frustration. So some ways that as parents, as caregivers, we can manage them or help them manage their frustration or their behavior. One way would be to probably give them simple and clear instructions. So when I talk about simple and clear instructions, I mean that you're talking in one statement that has only one step to do for them. So if it is just please close the door, so that's it, right? So they only have one task to do, and it's specific to what they have to do. So it's easier for them to follow that way. When we put in a lot of commands, or we put in a question that could you please do that, or do you think you can go to that room and just close that and then come back here? So there are too many instructions there, and they might find it hard to follow. Then that might create frustration to them that, oh, I do not understand that. The second way where we can help them manage is by establishing a routine. So here for children, predictability is something that is comforting to the child. Yeah. So when there is a routine, like they have a set of how they work, and anything that disrupts it will overwhelm them, and they might not cooperate with you at that time. So first step here is to establish a routine so that they feel comfortable that, yes, I know what I have to do next. So when they are in charge of their actions, they are able to function better. So then they know that, yes, I wake up in the morning and the next thing on my list is to go brush my teeth, and then I have to go and have my breakfast. So all this, if we set it for them, they can gather independence for themselves. So they know that, okay, this is what I have to do next. This is what I have to do next. Now it's very difficult to get that routine on a daily basis because there could be interruptions, maybe because of external factors mostly. So if there is some guest that's there, or if there's an emergency and you have to ask them to skip a few processes and do the next thing. So they might feel that, oh, why am I skipping? This is my routine. I want to do it. So since as parent, as caregivers, you know the difficult situations that they might come across. So it's advised that, they can have something called social stories or visual cues that you can make for them. So here you can have, since children learn better visually, so having visual cues would help them know that, okay, if a situation happens wherein somebody comes to our house, so we will keep all our toys in that box. So you can have pictures related to each step, and you can tell it to them as a story. So in one way, it's interesting to them because they see all the pictures, they see, okay, the toys are being put in a box. So it's comprehensible for them also. And therefore, you are preparing them also in case of an disruption that comes into their daily routine. So since so like I mentioned before, so strategies are there, but it comes down to you as parents definitely to customize it for your child. The way that we can look at managing behavior is by rewarding good behavior. Here again, you understand, like if you want your child to do something, you would praise them or you would want to give them something so that they repeat the behavior. So that's what reinforcing or rewarding the behavior means. So here also, when we look at it, you can have a chart sort of a thing wherein you can say that, okay, this is one activity, this is one activity, and this is one activity. So today you have to do 3 activities. You can put like pictures or draw pictures of it and say that after these 3 activities are done, there is going to be a reward. You can show, like probably give a picture of the reward as well. So that way they know that, okay, I need to do these 3 things. And after these three things, I might get something that I like. So that will encourage them to complete their task. That will also encourage them to get tasks done on their own. While they are doing their tasks on their own also, they might feel that, oh, okay, I'm doing my task on my own. But as parents, as caregivers, we probably have the tendency to go help them and be there for them at all points. But the idea here to make them more independent is most important. So we should be there as support for them and not as like doers with them, but just supporting from behind. Support could be in terms of verbally telling them that, okay, remember the picture that we saw. So you can use these strategies to bring them back to the story or the visual cue and ask them to do something. And once they are done with it, also to reward them. Again, one thing in mind we have to keep is we have to look at or be more observant to the good behavior. Because once they acquire the notion that, okay, if I do this, that means my mother, father, or caregiver is giving me something that I like. That means this is something that they want me to do. So they will create that association, and therefore, the probability of them doing it better again or the next time also increases that way. Again, these were some of the strategies that I mentioned, and I am aware that at every point there could be hurdles, but the idea here is not to achieve it on the first time or the first week itself. The idea here is that, we take baby steps every day, and there could be instances where we face failures in some of the days, but overall, we need to be consistent in our efforts. So once we're consistent in our efforts, it helps the child also to understand that, okay, my parent or my caregiver has not given up. So they are reinforcing the good one task that I have done, or they have praised me for the task that I have done. So maybe I can do the next also. Or when we're looking at visual cues, when we are telling them that in difficult situations, we can work in this way, or we can do or behave in this way. Then the next time it happens and you remind them that, remember, we did that story. How did you put that toys in the basket? Or how did we move this to that room? So then they are able to go back to that. And once they do it with your support, they are able to understand that, yes, that is something they are also capable of doing. When we spoke about all of these strategies also, one major factor here comes down to the parents and their efforts, their consistent efforts. And it can be taxing to the parents also. And as a psychologist, I understand it takes a toll on their mental health also. Not just for the child, definitely for the child, it is a very difficult time also to understand so many things, right? And it can cause their self-esteem also to decrease in some level. But once they understand that there is support, it encourages them. But to give that support as parents, as caregivers, we need to take care of our mental health as well. Right. First of all, yes, you will need to gather all the support that you can, even if it means professionally. Definitely, I know as parents, you will be considering or taking into consideration so many factors like their doctors, the therapists, the speech therapists. So many people would be involved in the child's care, healthcare, right? So definitely that is covered. Yeah. But to be able to work with them, to be able to support your child, you need to take care of your health as well. And for that, first of all, is to gather all the support that you can have. That is from your friends and from your families. Yeah. For that, you need to talk to them. You need to talk about your challenges that you face. And definitely not everybody would be willing to help, or not everybody would understand what you are going through. But there could be at least one person who wants to come and help you. And unless you tell them, they would not know that you are in need of that help. So it is okay to share about your challenges, the hurdles, and maybe you can even connect with the parents of other children as well. So that way you create a community amongst each other also. That way you're able to share, strategies that they are using, you are using, and try to again customize it according to your child. Right? The other aspect I wanted you as parents and caregivers to focus on is to keep yourself also informed. There are a lot of researches that keep happening. There are a lot of ways, strategies that people discuss online as well as researchers, as caregivers. There are various support groups. So I would also encourage you to be a part of those wherein you are also informed and try to understand, is there any other way that you can deal with certain things? And also, most importantly, is self-care. In the midst of all of this, I would encourage you again to take care of yourself also. If you make time for yourself, you are in the right frame of mind, you would be at a better point or better position to be able to help your child and support your child. So taking care of yourself means taking a break, doing something that you like. It could be just sleeping, or doing a hobby that you want to take up, or just going out, stepping out, and alone, and then coming back in, and then going back to your routine. So self-care is most important in this, and there is no way that you would want to neglect yourself, because if you are not there physically, mentally present with your child will not be able to understand or see that you are there supporting them, right? Lastly is, if there is any need, please seek professional help. There are therapists, there are counseling sessions that happen online also. If you feel that going in person is a little challenging, there are many different ways or facilities that have come up where you can seek professional help. Again, when you seek professional help, I would advise you to be sure that they are professionals in terms of they have completed, or they are from the psychology background, because they would be able to help you and guide you in a better manner. Right? So these were some of the factors that I wanted to share. And considering Down syndrome, there are a lot of factors that we look at in terms of the child and the school, right? And the education aspect of it. In all of that, we must also remember that both for the child and for the parent, the mental health is also important. So again, if there is any point you feel that you need to talk, you need to be able to share it with a professional, please don't hesitate. You can always get in touch with the psychologist. Right. Again, thank you so much for your time, and I hope this was educational enough, and this would help all of you. Thank you.